No regrets. We don't look back. We only look ahead.
Yeah, I say the same. Regrets just then they're with you. Then you get to hang on to your regrets. So it's not, So no regrets.
Oh, actually, I do have one. My Vulcan skull tattoo.
What did the tattoo say before that, though?
It said, Carissa, mi amor.
Who is Carissa?
My first wife, lovely woman.
Based on the amount of time we have asked that nobody else step into the question line, I've got a full more. We're going to start right here.
Austin had something to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think all of us, despite any mistakes we've made, we're stronger today because of whatever we did wrong then. And I wouldn't go back and change any of it. You know what? It is what it is. I am who I am because of that. And while I'm not done making mistakes for sure, I'm also not done getting better. So I'm good with it.
Phenomenally, more phenomenal, awesome. But my question goes...
Now spell that.
My question goes to Paul and Jason. I've always said you guys a lot. I want to say you guys go through so much character over the course of the seasons. It reminds me of like all of the developments like Dragon Ball, Cheetah was Aaron, and in pro wrestling, AEW, NGS, he was a fan scumbag, and now it's everybody. So it's kind of like, you guys go through so much stuff in heroes, especially in the comedy. So when you guys mentioned about the book, this role, like, what was it like?
Sorry, somebody screamed right when you were asking the question, which most people do, and they say, Paul and Jason, so I was, ah! And that's the end of the conversation, so I didn't know. It was great. I mean, one of the things I think that was difficult for these guys is that they're like, you're a good guy. You're like, okay, cool, so can I do this? I'm like, no, you're a good guy. So so they really were having to create characters in these very narrow parameters. I think that's the truth. And since we were idiots, bad guys, we could do anything, break any rule, and that's the key to making good roles, right? Is that you say yes and. What if? Can I? Their answer was always no, 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 no. And I was like, hey, your guys are indispensable. So that was the great thing. And surprise, surprise, we had a character. And characters,
All right, guys, again, we just have a couple more minutes, so the gentleman in the mighty Morphin Power Rangers t-shirt there, and doesn't narrow it down. Will be the last question.
Okay, the whole room just stood up.
Hey there. My question, I'm trying to keep it as quick as possible. It's for Paul, Jason, and Steve. Paul and Jason, what was it like going to New Zealand for the movie and coming back to Samurai? And Steve, how long did it take to get into Babu?
Makeup, when I first started, took a little over an hour. By the time I was done, it was about 40 minutes. To get into costume itself was literally minutes. It zipped up in the back, the shoes were separate, so I could get in and out of it basically by myself. I just wanted to see what it was.
Flying to New Zealand takes 12 hours. That's what it was like.
Paulie had it down to a science because he was working still at Gentle Giant Studios, and so he would have to go right from work, instead of driving home, drive to the airport where he'd have a bedroom, which they call a 747, and he'd get on that, and then have to walk off that plane right to the set. So like when I went down there, he told me like the routine that I had to do. Okay, now this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get to the airport, they say get there 2 hours in advance, get there 2.5 hours in advance. You're gonna go to the lounge. It's the courtesy lounge. You get to the courtesy lounge, have something light, just light. But right before you eat your first bite, you're going to have half a shot at least. Don't do the vodka, it's going to screw you up. And then after you have the half a vodka, then you get on the, we're going to ask you if you want the heavy meal or the light meal. You're going to want to go with the light meal. But we're going to ask you if you want white. Yes, we want the white. After that, you want the aperitif afterwards? No, what you're going to do is you're going to drop a couple of Benadryl right before you do that. And then you can have your aperitif, and then you go to sleep for about 6 or 7 hours, then you get off the plane, but before you get off the plane, make sure you have half a cup of coffee, only half a cup of coffee, otherwise you're going to have the poops. And then after that, you go straight to the set, it's really easy. So you have a little bit of science there.
So we're very confident.
They shot around me the entire Super Samurai season. And so I took 14 trips to New Zealand. And so that's a lot of frequent flyer miles. And so when you work at a TV show, there's always a talent wrangler, somebody who pries your hungover ass out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure that you go to set. Well, for me, that was a guy named Blake. And after a year of shooting the show, 14 trips, I had 80,000 miles with Air New Zealand. And so my talent wrangler on my last trip, I asked him if he wanted to go to Burning Man with me. And Blake went to Burning Man with us that year. It was awesome.
My question is for all of you, and I'm pretty sure that all of us are thinking the same thing. Is once and always, is it a one and done, or did you guys come back for a season if they made it, or the new code of payment applied to this?
And you never get out of this shit. It's like the CIA.
Yeah, they do go uptown.
We're actors, they do anything for money.
Austin, what about you? I know you didn't come back for this one, but what about second shot?
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually back every 5 to 10 years, and they spoke to me about once and always. I mean, we had discussions. They talked with Andy, they talked with Jason Frank, and I think, I love what they did. I like the crossovers. It's the first time in 30 years they killed somebody, and I don't mean a monster. That's the first time in 30 years they killed somebody. You guys thought about that? Yeah. No good guy or non-bad guy has ever died on Power Rangers that I know of. Now consider this. Oh, apparently I'm wrong. Not the first time. But I'll give you this. Now that, like when they killed Robo Rita, it was savage. Rocky jumps up and runs his sword through her electronic heart. But now Hasbro owns Transformers, they own G.I. Joe, and they own Power Rangers. The last Transformers movie, little boy walks on camera wearing a Power Rangers shirt. So now, as the Rangers have taken kind of a darker turn, and Hasbro owns Transformers and G.I. Joe, and we're seeing all these crossovers, now I'm wondering, what if? How cool would that be? Could you imagine the Megazord and Optimus Prime getting down? You know what I mean? How cool would that be? I'd get the phone with That would be insane.
How do you bring Rita back now?
In pieces.
Actually, Bart, we just need you on camera, physically.
It's time.
What crossover do you guys like to team up with? What applies on their team?
Who would we cross over with?
Yeah.
I want to film with Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot. That's all.
Hi, my question is for all of you. So, is there something that you either asked for or maybe liberated from the set that you kept?
You know this is all being videotaped, right?
I feel so free now.
I have in my possession because of Danny. Danny was Danny and Austin we were our roommates back in the day. We had the boys' house, which was crazy. But Danny worked on the show for like 10 years, and I went to his house one day and he was like, "Hey, do you want this? It's Ernie's juice bar set." So I have that.
I have a bunch of plastic pastries in the juice bar that Mark gave me.
I finally got my first piece like 2 years ago. I guy went to one of these websites where they sell authentic Ranger stuff, and people bring me this stuff all the time, and they're like, oh, hey Austin, is this really yours? And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, no. Because I had to mark my stuff. Because we had the stunt guy's wardrobe, we had my photography wardrobe, and then we had regular shooting stuff. So my stuff was marked. I know my stuff by looking at it. And so people come up all the time, hey, was this really you? I'm like, no, sorry, you paid whatever you paid. It was crazy for this, but that's not me. This guy about 2 years ago comes up, and I had, because they never let Jason have a shirt or sleeves. Always had me half naked, but when this guy came up, he came up with one of these, with an orange shirt that of course had no sleeves, and it was kind of rolled up. Actually, I think I have the picture on my table. And the guy comes up, before he can even open his mouth, I take one look at it, and I'm like, where did you get that? And he's like, oh, I got it at the site, and this is what I paid. I was like, I'll give you what you paid, and 50% more right now. And so he had the certificate, and I bought it, and now that is the only piece I have ever owned from Power Rangers, and I paid for it.
I have a funny story. This is yours with the jacket. Paul once authenticated a piece by saying, smell it, what's it smell like? He said, it smells like moldy yogurt. He goes, that's me. Because they always goop us with stuff and never, leather you can't wash. So, like, if there was food on that leather, it stayed.
So during the first movie, the news one, at one point they thought it would be a good idea to see the actors' faces in the helmets. So they did a modified helmet that had first the visors removed and then also the mouth removed, and then they tried to light it, and it didn't really work out well. So they were like, scrap all the helmets. But one of them happened to be my stunt helmet for the Black Ranger because I got the Jelly Bosch film, and I have that black helmet.
Question.
I got a bone to real quick. So he brings up like the trope nuts in the 2017 film. What is the point to wearing a mask if you're a superhero? Hide your identity. It's supposed to hide your identity. What's rule number 1 for being a Power Ranger? Tell no one, right? All the Rangers had see-through face masks. It's what happened. They're like, well, you're only going to get one whole movie. Let's give you some more face time.
Alright, well, first off, thank you for all that you guys have done for fans. It really does mean a lot to all of us. My question is for all of you, if you were to have a centric episode now, like you, like Walter, you had a really cool one with Once and Always. If you were to have your own centric episode and your character was to either face anyone specific or, like, what would your character be about? Just for everybody, what would happen to your character?
And we're out of time. Actually, if you come to my table, I have some pictures. Well, because I've got on-set pictures where I've got a picture of me on Zed's throne. And I had a plan, and I have a picture that relates to that plan. Little teaser. Now you have to come see me to find out. In the back row where all the Mighty Morphin cast is. I'm just on the opposite side. I'm next to Romy.
I think they should let Bulk and Skull actually do the pairing of the 4 Rangers. Live action. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I would like to see Jason and the rest of the OG cast in modern times deal with the loss of Tommy and Trini. More adult in that, as a leader, when you lose somebody like that, that's a weight you carry. You know what I mean? And I feel like each of the Rangers who have all led the team at some point, I think that's a weight all of them would bear. And I think it would be, I think that would be an epic episode to watch each of the remaining OG cast to get inside of their head and
watch them deal with whatever monster is happening while dealing with that internal, I could have been there, should I have been there, what happened, you know, was it my fault? Because that's definitely a weight Jason would wear, you know, he would, why wasn't I there? I should have done this, I could have been the leader, you know, it's called survivor's guilt. And I think that would be the more adult version that I would like to see answered in 2024, maybe.
I would like to see Rita in anger management.
You guys gotta see these guys at the table, they're all fantastic. Please give it up for the cast.